Welcome, my beloved Sagittarians, both the seasoned stargazers and the cosmic newcomers to Zodiac Talks Tarot, where we don't just read the cards, we speak fluent astrology with a side of soul psychology and a dash of Buddhist wisdom. If you've found yourself here today, chances are the universe has been nudging you with one of those coincidences that aren't really coincidences. So let's talk about what's been swirling in your energy field lately. We open this reading with the never-ending story card, and Sagittarius, I say this with love, you've been running on what I like to call the emotional treadmill of doom. Round and round you go, giving your all to something or someone that just keeps feeding you the same emotional reruns. You're not just loyal, you're basically spiritually subscribed with auto-renew on. And I get it. You're a fire sign with a heart the size of Jupiter. But here's the psychological truth wrapped in gentle compassion: sometimes we stay stuck not because we don't know better, but because our hearts are wired for hope, even when the pattern is waving a red flag and screaming plot twist incoming. But then enters the time to go card, cue the cosmic alarm clock. Spirit isn't just whispering anymore, it's practically shouting through a megaphone. This isn't about giving up. This is about graduating. You've passed the test, Sagittarius. You've learned the lesson. Now it's time to walk off that hamster wheel like the majestic centaur you are and gallop into the next chapter. Sure, your emotional limbs might be a little sore from all the running, but trust me, what's waiting ahead isn't more of the same. It's something new, something real, something worthy of your wild, wise, wandering heart. Let's talk about one of the most powerful moments in your current energy, Sagittarius, when the High Priestess walks into the reading. And no, she doesn't knock politely. She glides in like she owns the temple and looks you straight in the soul. Her presence is a reminder that your intuition isn't just some passing gut feeling. This is your inner wisdom, your higher self, whispering truths that your logical brain could never Google. And Sagittarius, let's not beat around the celestial bush. You, of all the signs, are one of the chosen ones when it comes to receiving spiritual downloads. While others are still fumbling with their meditation apps, you're over here catching divine messages mid-walk, mid-latte, or mid-existential crisis. And then we get to the Sacral Chakra, that warm, electric center of creativity, sensuality, and yes, pleasure. This is the spark behind your bold ideas, your spontaneous dancing in the kitchen, and those 3 a.m. philosophical rants that make your friends question their entire existence. But lately, that fire might have been a bit dim. Maybe you've been too focused on being responsible or trying to fix everyone else's mess. Let me tell you something, Sag, you weren't born to live in emotional purgatory. You were born to light up every room you walk into with that untamed, inspired spirit of yours. Here's where the Buddhist lens comes in. Yes, craving can lead to suffering, but denying your true essence? That's a much subtler kind of pain. The kind that slowly silences your joy. You're not here to just survive love, you're here to feel it fully. You're not here to just color inside the lines, you're here to paint the whole damn sky. So trust your intuition, nurture your inner fire, and if the world isn't ready for your brilliance, that's their karma, not yours. Now here's the part where things get interesting, Sagittarius, because the universe has got blessings lined up for you like flights circling the runway at LAX. Seriously, abundance, clarity, love, purpose, it's all up there waiting to land. But there's a problem. Your emotional gate? Still closed. Why? Because you're holding on to baggage like it's your carry-on and you're afraid it's gonna get lost in transit. Spoiler alert, it needs to get lost. That old heartbreak, the outdated belief system, the job that drains your soul, or the person who only shows up when Mercury's in retrograde, it's all cluttering your spiritual airspace. Spirit's message isn't cryptic here. This isn't one of those look for signs in the clouds situations. No, the sign is here. It's in your body. It's in your restlessness. It's in that quiet voice that says, you deserve more. But paying attention to the details means not bypassing the little nudges. That recurring dream. That conversation you keep replaying. That feeling you get in your gut when someone says just give it more time. Time? Sagittarius, you've given lifetimes in soul currency. Here's the cosmic truth, you can't reach for new blessings if your hands are still full of old pain. And yes, letting go isn't some glittery Instagram quote, it's real work. It's messy, raw, sometimes tearful work. But necessary? Absolutely. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that attachment is the root of suffering. And you, dear archer, weren't meant to live rooted in suffering. You were meant to aim higher. So let go. Release. Clear the runway. Because those blessings, they're not just waiting. They're circling. And honey, they're ready for touchdown. Let's break this down, Sagittarius, because Spirit just threw you a cosmic truth bomb wrapped in tarot velvet. First up, we've got the moon, and no, this isn't your dreamy let's go stargazing kind of moon. This is the what the heck is going on version. Things feel foggy, unclear, maybe even a little deceptive. But here's the twist, this confusion isn't a glitch in the system, it's part of the divine design. Spirit sometimes hides the full map, not because you're not ready, but because if you saw the whole journey ahead, you might try to shortcut your way around the growth part. The moon is your soul's bootcamp for building trust in your internal compass. That means leaning into your intuition, not just your logic, especially when your GPS starts recalculating mid-path. And then bam, 10 of Swords. The ultimate I'm done card. Rock bottom. Betrayal. Emotional exhaustion. But listen, this isn't the tragic ending, this is the spiritual reset. In Buddhist teachings, suffering isn't the villain, it's the gateway. The 10 of Swords shows up not to ruin you, but to release you. It's your soul's mic drop moment, and as painful as it is, it's also the beginning of liberation. Cue the Knight of Swords charging in with the speed and energy of a double shot of espresso at midnight. No more dragging your feet, no more emotionally tiptoeing around decisions. It's go time. You're being moved forward at warp speed now, and if it feels a little chaotic, good. That's the sound of old timelines being shredded. And here comes the King of Wands, your fiery, fearless self stepping into full leadership. Paired with the 9 and 10 of Cups, this is you saying, I'm done settling. I want the real thing. Not the fantasy. Not the flaky text at 2 a.m. This is emotional fulfillment, deep joy, the kind of love and purpose that actually aligns with your values. The best part? You're not just hoping for happiness anymore. You're choosing it. You've outgrown chasing fairy tales, you're now writing the damn story. And guess what? This time, it ends with truth, power, and a happily ever now. Let's talk about love, Sagittarius. Yes, that 4-letter word that makes poets weep, pop songs chart, and your heart do somersaults at 2 a.m. when you're scrolling through old messages you should have deleted last Mercury retrograde. The cards pulled are not shy about what's happening here. First up, free yourself. And no, not just metaphorically. This isn't about throwing on a self-care sheet mask and calling it healing. This is deep. This is soul tie snipping, energetic detoxing, and finally admitting that no, you're not obligated to carry someone else's emotional laundry until the end of time. Then comes retreat and reconciliation, the cosmic combo meal of let's take a step back and hey stranger, long time no text. Classic Venus retrograde energy, by the way. It's like the universe hit reply all on your old karmic contracts. Someone from the past might slide back into your life, cue dramatic slow motion entrance, wind machine optional. But here's the thing, not all returns are romantic. Some are redemptive. Some are here to remind you who you're not anymore. And some are just karmic U-turns dressed up as second chances. Now, the Six of Cups paired with the Devil? That's nostalgia meeting its therapist. It's sweet until it's suffocating. If a past love returns, it better come without the emotional junk drawer. Otherwise, you're just rebooting an old show hoping it magically wins an Emmy this time. Same script, slightly worse lighting. Then we shift gears to something more grounded. Three of Pentacles and Six of Pentacles step in like spiritual contractors saying, "You want love? Cool. Grab a hammer." Relationships, real ones, are built not gifted. This is no longer about you doing all the emotional labor while the other person works on themselves indefinitely. It's we build this or we bounce. And then sweet relief, Eight of Cups. That moment when you finally walk away, not in anger, but in wisdom. Not because you stopped caring, but because you started caring about you. Growth isn't glamorous, but it's powerful. Finally, the star glimmers in. Subtle. Quiet. Hopeful. This is Spirit's gentle attaboy or attagirl, letting you know that healing is happening. Not in viral breakthroughs, but in the quiet choices you're now making every time you choose peace over chaos, alignment over attachment, and healing over history. You're not just rebuilding love, Sagittarius. You're redefining it. One honest, courageous, karmically upgraded step at a time. Let's talk about your cosmic wake-up call, Sagittarius, and no, I don't mean the kind where your phone buzzes with a horoscope meme at 6 a.m. I'm talking about judgment. The big one. The spiritual alarm clock that doesn't come with a snooze button. This card shows up when you've reached a crossroads so pivotal, even your higher self is pacing the astral plane waiting for you to decide. You can't keep one foot in the past and the other foot tapping toward your potential. That's not balance, it's emotional limbo, and let's be honest, even you're starting to get dizzy. Then enters the Fool, stage left, like the wild child of the tarot deck, barefoot, backpack on, no regrets. This card isn't naive. It's courageous. It says, drop the baggage, pack the essentials, aka self-worth, faith, and maybe snacks, and leap into what's next. Sagittarius, let me remind you, you were ruled by Jupiter, the cosmic king of growth, wisdom, and wild adventure. You weren't born to play it safe. You were born to break the mold, question the rules, and then rewrite them with a highlighter and a little glitter. But let's be real, just because your soul is ready to leap doesn't mean your nervous system got the memo. That's where the next cards come in. Four of Pentacles says you've got your heart locked down like it's a vault at Fort Knox. And Nine of Wands? That's you, battle-worn, weary, but still refusing to sit down. You're the emotional version of a warrior monk with a sarcastic sense of humor. And then there's the tug-of-war between Five of Wands and Eight of Swords. Internally, you're stuck between I want to love again and I'd rather chew glass than get hurt again. And honestly, both feelings are valid. But here's the Buddhist truth bomb, healing doesn't mean you'll never feel pain again. It means you'll finally stop handing your heart to people who think emotional maturity is just an Instagram quote. You don't have to be perfect to begin again. You just have to be willing. So breathe, Sag. The leap is coming and it's yours to take. Let's talk about something Sagittarius rarely admits out loud. Underneath all that wild independence and adventurous spirit, you're secretly craving something real. Not just sparks. Not just fireworks. You want the whole bonfire, something warm, steady, and lasting. The Three of Cups kicks off this phase of your reading, and it's more than just an excuse to pop champagne. This is about emotional celebration, reunion, reconnection, and that rare sense of joy that only comes when the heart feels safe to be wide open again. Yes, there could be someone from your past circling back, or maybe a connection finally blooms into something deeper. Either way, the energy is sweet, soul-level stuff. And then comes the Hierophant, our sacred structure guy, the one who reminds us that love without foundation is like building a castle on sand. Add in the sun, and now we're talking about commitment that feels like clarity, not control. Love with laughter. Stability without boredom. Sagittarius, I know you can't stand anything that feels like a cage, but this combo? This is the kind of love that sets you free, because it doesn't dim your fire, it helps you build a whole damn lighthouse with it. Now, let's pull back and zoom into the romantic journey and cosmic timeline messages. These oracles don't mince words. Desiring a family. Choosing you. Feeling lost without you. That's not casual talk, my friend. That's fated connection energy. But the universe also wants you to chill a little. Divine timing is still divine even when it's not convenient. You'll also see nudges like timing isn't right and next birthday equals big shift. Translation? No need to sprint. Some of your biggest blessings are coming, but they need the right stage. Oh, and speak your mind? Classic Sagittarius. You were born to tell the truth, even if it's wrapped in sarcasm and delivered with dramatic hand gestures. Use that gift now. Say what you feel. Ask what you need. The universe is listening, but it also expects you to speak up. Destiny's not a monologue. It's a conversation. Let's get into the heart of it, Sagittarius, because this next stretch of your reading isn't just insightful, it's downright transformative. First, we have the Six of Cups, the cosmic calling card of soulmates and sacred connections. When this card returns, it often signals someone from your past popping up like a well-timed plot twist. There's a sweetness to this energy, nostalgia, familiarity, even a sense of unfinished business. But before you cue the romantic montage, here comes the devil lurking behind it, like a karmic bouncer reminding you to check your emotional baggage at the door. Just because it feels deep doesn't mean it's healthy. Is it love, or is it old guilt dressed up in soul connection drag? The line can get blurry. This is where the Three of Pentacles steps in with a reality check. Relationships are co-creations. If you're the only one holding the emotional hammer while the other person's just showing up for the snacks, it's not a partnership, it's a performance. Mutual effort isn't optional this time around, it's the foundation. Now, let's talk real endings and sacred exits. 10 of Swords and 8 of Cups show a moment of release, not in anger, but in clarity. This is your spiritual permission slip to walk away from anything that keeps you small. And not with bitterness, oh no, that's heavy to carry. With compassion. With love. With the kind of grace that comes when you realize your peace is more important than another round of fixing what doesn't want to be healed. Then comes the Sun reversed, a quiet nudge that you've spent enough time in the shadows. It's time to let the light back in. Enter the Star, Judgment, and the Fool, a trinity of healing, awakening, and bold new beginnings. This is a full soul reset. A realignment with who you were before the world told you to be afraid of your own fire. And finally, the truth bomb you've been dancing around, Sagittarius, you're not just another sign passing through. You are one of the chosen ones. Not in a movie trailer, save the world way, but in the quiet, sacred sense that your pain wasn't pointless. It was fuel. Your heartbreak wasn't failure, it was alchemy. You've turned wounds into wisdom, and now the universe is calling you to lead, love, and live from that fire-forged truth. This journey hasn't been easy, but every card confirms you're closer than ever. To the love you deserve. To the purpose you've prayed for. And to the freedom your soul was always designed to claim. So take the leap. Trust the divine detour. Your next chapter? It won't be written in fear. It'll be written in fire, unsigned with your name in stars. So, Sagittarius, after all the soul searching, emotional roller coasters, and cosmic plot twists, Here's your final takeaway: life isn't just about surviving the storm. It's about learning to dance in the fire, preferably barefoot, with good music, and maybe a glass of wine. You weren't born to tiptoe through life trying not to mess up. You were made to live boldly, laugh loudly, and love like you've got Jupiter on speed dial. So take that leap. Chase what lights you up. Forgive what dimmed you. And for the love of all things astrological, remember you're not behind. You're being divinely rerouted. If this reading lit something up in your wild Sagittarian soul, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, Zodiac Talks Tarot. Because hey, the stars are talking and I'm here to translate, with a little wisdom, a little sass, and a whole lot of heart.